What's up guys, this is David at Finish Line Factory, and today we've got another edition of My Car, My Story here at Supercar Room. Today we're talking about the story of the McLaren Senna, the inspiration behind the Senna. My buddy Dan had brought over his Senna, parked over there, and they're bringing that in. They're going to talk about the Senna, they're going to talk about Dan's history with the Senna, how he got it, talk about his McLaren collection. It's going to be a very fun video. Let's go check it out.
So he's one of the pushers because this is a house of live. Because Senna was the most prolific driver for McLaren ever, and they built the most amazing car. Now, my good friend here, Dan, owns this car, but we have certain questions we gotta ask him. It's always the norm here. So my very first question, before you guys ask him questions, Dan, what was your very first car you ever owned? It's important because a lot of people, when you get a car like this, they forget where you came from, okay? And don't laugh, because I had the similar story, and I don't want to talk about my story, but Dan, what was the very first car you owned?
First car for me actually was a Chevy Malibu. Literally was, the thing fell apart on me after about 4 years, but...
What color Malibu?
Black.
That guy was rocking a Malibu. Back in those days, a Malibu were pretty cool.
Yeah,
what year was that?
2003. That's not when they were cool. I promise you
that.
that.
Oh man! I thought he had like a '66 Malibu.
I wish.
Oh, he had a 2003 Malibu. You see? And what happened? How much did you pay for that car?
My family actually supplied parts to GM, so we got that down to like 17 grand. By the time I traded it in, it was worth 4,000. It was worth nothing.
Hey, it's your first car, huh? How old were you?
17.
You're 17 years old. What do you expect? You're not gonna get the keys of a Lambo. You're gonna get. My very first car was a VW Rabbit. It handed me down. You know, it was my grandma's, and then it got handed down all the way to me.
Automatic or manual?
Manual, because I was in England.
Throwing the clutch out every 6 months.
I was in England, so it was stick shift, and I was like, my grandma doesn't like me, so that's how it is, you know. Now, also, you have a bunch of cars now. Just tell me, how many cars do you have?
Up to 7 right now.
So he's a collector, he has 7 cars, and out of your 7 cars, how many McLarens?
2 right now. This is the 4th.
So you've had 4 McLarens in your lifetime.
Yeah.
You're a real ambassador.
I'm real patient.
He's real patient, you see? Because McLarens, it's like an old English lady. You gotta take them easy, you know? You gotta be...
How you getting that one home? You need me to drive it?
No, we got a tow truck for that. Come on, it's a McLaren.
So quickly, out of all the cars you've owned, which one is your favorite so far? You gotta just tell the ones you've had the best fun in.
Malibu.
The Malibu, right.
Backseat.
We're not going there.
Backseat car, the backseat car.
That's a different car. Honestly, the one I always wanted was always my Lamborghini, my Aventador SVJ, the Roadster.
And that's your favorite car so far?
I think so. I love this thing, but I'm sometimes terrified to drive on the road. It's a race car for the road.
It's a race car for the road. And if you had the $1 million question people ask, if you had to choose one car out of the entire cars you have, the 7 cars or the cars you want to buy, which is the one car you would buy or you would own?
Well, you said the $1 million question. It was this one. I mean, that was, I never imagined I would own something like this in my entire life.
What did you pay for it? Is it private?
That's a private matter.
Private matter. Worth $1.4 million. You spent approximately 1.4. It is incredible to think one car alone could cost this much, but it's very numbered, so you can't have one, and it's controlled by, demand and supply. If you have the demand, you have the car. If you don't have the demand, the car goes up. Anyway, long story. If you were to say you were to literally have a car in your life, even ones you've not owned yet, which will be the car you would like to have?
Actually, it was probably this, weirdly. I didn't want it at first. And if they put this video out, it probably would have sold it a lot better, honestly. Because when I first saw this, I wasn't really that in love with it. And then it just grew on me, and then I was like, you know what? I have the opportunity to buy one. I've got to do it. I'm at that point in my life. I'm fortunate enough. And this came along, and I just couldn't say no.
Yeah, and tell us, it looks like it's got like a very special paint job. Tell us about those paint jobs.
That's probably what sold me on it, because I mean, you know me well enough. So all my cars are green and orange and crazy colors. I wouldn't normally buy a black car, but with this, they crushed diamonds, threw it in the paint, and that sold me on it. I mean, for me, like as a kid, I loved gemstones, especially diamonds. And when I heard about that, and I looked up the history of this particular car, and nobody ever drove it. They just sat in the garage, which I totally understand, because I still go in my garage and I look at it and I just in awe. Every time, like
you said, it's still better
make my coffee in the morning before I start my work day, and I'll go in, I'll look at it, I'm like, oh, I can't believe this is here. It just,
So just so you know, the paint job is a one-off paint job by McLaren. It has crushed diamonds in the paint job. It's a $100,000 upgrade, by the way. And obviously that was the pendulum that pushed him over. When they said diamonds in the car, he was like, that's it, I'm having it. So now, what does it feel? I'm sure a lot of these people would like to know, what does this feel like driving it?
It's scary and terrifying, honestly.
Have you tracked it ever?
No.
Never tracked it?
Never been tracked. I've tracked my other McLarens, but never this. And I just like, when I'm on the highway on this, I drive this around, I go on my other ones, I feel like I'm not moving. It is that fast, it's unreal.
Okay,
I just can't believe it.
There's also something that Ian shared with me, which I have to share with you, and I'm not sure if you actually understand. Now, a lot of you guys look at the car. What do you think? Do you like the design? Do you think for McLaren it's a great design, or what do you think of the car?
Good design.
A great design?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you something, which I am a car buff, okay? And the first time I saw the car, I'm like, they lost their mind. And I'm going to have him open the door. Go ahead and open the door. Today, when I was speaking to Ian Dickman, who is head of design for McLaren, he says, you know what? If you want to keep the people entertained, we're the first company in the world that decided to put glass on the lower part of the door so that people could see the driver literally driving it when they're looking at it. Number one. I said, well, that's a good excuse. What's a real, goes, so that the wife could show her Manalo Bianchi shoes while she's cruising. Isn't that amazing that you have glass so that you can show off your Louboutins or your Manolo Bianchi shoes, whatever it is? It's actually all for that. Did you know that?
No, but I wore the shoes for it.
Oh, there you go. You see, so he knew. Look, he came. There you go. So the idea of having this glass door, it's technically so that you could literally see the driver driving and piloting the car. When you're inside and you look down the road, isn't that amazing to see the road flying by you?
Seeing the lines like on the lanes, it's crazy to see
Just
that.
flying by you all the time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have any questions about the design of this car, unfortunately, I only had a small crash course this morning, and I know much. I know a little bit about it, but this for me was the talking point of the whole show. The fact that they've actually thought of making a vanity part of the car and make it part of the design, it's insane. But still keeping the performance of what it is. So you have something for everything. It's a beast you can take on the road, and it's a race car you could take at home, right?
Yeah.
Any questions?
It's a limited edition.
You want to put the mic?
How many exist? How many other of these models?
500.
500 examples of this car, and that's all there is. And you have to be the lucky one to get one of 500. Any other questions?
Are there any other colors? Are there any other colors available?
I mean, there's a lot of exposed carbon, there's a lot of black, but the thing that for me was this was the only one in this color. It was one of one. No, it's one of one.
It's a big wedding ring. Unfortunately, he's not married yet. And he's not available because this is his wife. Any other questions?
No, it's a big wedding ring that got crushed.
It's a big wedding ring that got crushed.
With a paint.
To put it on there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a great report. Whoops. You just crushed the wedding ring. Any other questions? No questions? So a lot of you guys are wondering what it feels like. You gotta ask this gentleman. I'm sure you want to basically take a closer look. He doesn't bite. He's a really nice guy. He will show you the car, and it's his decision if you guys can. I know a lot of people ask me, can I sit in it? It's not my car, and I can't. So come and talk to Dan. Thank you very much. Are there any more questions?
He's gone in this one versus the other. What's the fastest he's gone in this versus the other ones he's gone in?
What's the fastest you've gone in this car against all the other ones you've owned?
I think this has only been about 160. The highest was in my Aventador SVJ. That was about 85 on Alligator Alley.
There you go.
Turn the cameras off.
Any cops here? Any taking pictures? 85 on Alligator Alley going to Naples. And then you wonder why. But this is done 160. Any other questions? What's the mileage on it?
Just 254 miles.
254 miles. One of 500 in the world. Obviously, he doesn't want to put miles if he doesn't have it. How often do you have to maintain it?
As little as I drive it, once a year.
Once a year. You got to take it in once a year for them to check out all the fluids. Make sure to take your money for free. That's how it is. You know, it's part of it. If you got a beautiful wife, it's expensive. You know? That's part of what it is. Anything else? Any other questions? You have a question?
He'd like to know if we get a picture inside the car.
There you go. That's the owner. There you go. There you go. So if you want to get any photos, you want to get close to the car, you know,
Dan, tell him how
you can give him the keys too. You don't even have to keys at all.
Like just like in any supercar?
Just do your best.
Yeah, don't touch this. Don't touch it.
And we're gonna do some crazy things later. We're gonna talk some more. Here you go. Here you go.
All right, guys, that's the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out finishlinefactory.com for all the fittings, hoses, all the weld bungs and stuff. Big thank you to Dan for bringing out this car and telling us your story. Anyway, guys, I'm out. See you. Bye.